All right, guys. Hey, it is August 1st, 2023. July is in the books now. We had a decent month, able to pay the bills at least. So we want to continue to at least grow from there. Things are growing incrementally. But we had actually one funding last night that was very, very late. I got a report in from a member of my team, Nicole Anderson. Guys, late, way after hours, did she shoot this message over me? I was asleep when I got this. I woke up this morning to the message. And damn it, if I just got to tell you, I have an amazing team of people that will do this kind of thing. There's not a lot of people I've worked with in the industry that are willing to do what my team does. So if you're one of these type of people right now, I say, hey, this other outfit offered an amazing rate, but I can't get a hold of them. I don't know what the hell you're doing, work with them. Guys, I got people that work weekends, work nights, and I don't tell them to do this. That's what's an amazing thing. I tell them, listen, take your time, get your time with your family, get your alone time, get your relaxed time. I will get reports from them at odd freaking hours because they are that interested in ensuring that you get taken care of. They take your calls, they take your texts, they call you back, they set your deals up, they make sure they close at midnight practically. I don't know what else you guys want, but interest rates are not going down. I wish I could be wrong about this. I'd love for them to go down. I'd love for us to go back in the forest, but it's not happening. So we better get a plan and get moving forward and understand what makes you successful. So some things I want to get on before we get too far into this. Guys, you need to go check this out. Sean Ryan Show. I am listening to this podcast. This is what I'm focused on these days when I'm going to listen to a podcast. Number 56, Ryan Montgomery. This guy, ethical hacker, that's breaking into the pedophile ring, just finding all these people. He's one guy. He talks about where I'm at right now in this show. He talks about finding a website had over 7,000 people on it, all sharing some of the nastiest data I've ever freaking heard in my life. One guy versus 7,000. And, none of the news media would pick it up. I mean, even the law enforcement was not sure about jumping into this. Guys, we need to be awake and start raising hell about this stuff. It's up to us. Have you seen The Sound of Freedom yet? Talked about that damn movie. And I'm very good friends with Tim Ballard, who the movie is about. Alejandro Monteverdi, who is the guy who directed it, right? And did most of the screenplay writing. Another friend. You got to go see this movie. If you haven't seen it, take freaking time. You're going to go do something anyway. This is one of the most amazing things you've ever seen. Plus, it's the #1 movie out there. You definitely got to go see it. Keep pushing, make yourself heard, make yourself seen. Here's the thing about this particular topic. It's one of those topics that's hard and it's debilitating to listen to and understand and know that it's happening. You can't do shit about it. You can, just by showing up and going, buying some tickets for somebody else, just getting the word out there, listening to a podcast like this and broadcasting it to all your networks. And guys, listen to this thing. It's amazing to me what is happening right under our noses and we have no clue. Be aware and point it out when you see it. Point those dirt bags out as much as you possibly can. You see or smell that shit, make sure somebody knows, make sure that they know that you know. About sick of these sumbitches. So let's get into some other things. Got an event coming up. I'm going to be putting out on my website events. This is the first one that's going up. We're going to be putting more, but go to aaron.chapman.com or aaronbchapman.com/events, or just go to aaronchapman.com and click right here on events. Scroll down, this will tell you what's coming up. So we're going to be adding them. The one we have up here right now, we've got Memphis properties. We're going to be going out there to, of course, have some of the operators in the area, talk about what's going on in the Memphis area, because it's always just been one of those markets that just gets it done. But what I really want you to come out there is, one, learn how you continue to be successful as a real estate investor. But also, I just talked about Operation Underground Railroad. We're going to have Matt Osborne, who is the president and chief operation officer of OUR. Now we've talked about Tim Ballard, the founder, right? He's got a lot of things going on right now in his world. So I'm bringing Matt. Matt's going to come out and talk to you guys. Now he has 12 years with the CIA and the U.S. State Department. The guy was a diplomat. He was an intelligence officer. He's briefed presidents and senior cabinet members. The guy has been with Operation Underground Railroad for a number of years. He's led 27 international missions, rescuing over 211 victims out there, if you will, who were liberated from human traffickers, and also arrested 72 suspected traffickers. So this is a guy you guys want to meet. This is a guy you guys want to know. So go to that thing and sign up for that event. There's only a few seats really available. So you might want to jump in as fast as you freaking can. So let's get into the charts here, wanting to see what we're up against here in the market. So As always, got to go to the charts, got to show where it's going. Interest rates, in my belief, are not going down. I wish they were going down. I'd love to tell you that they're going to go down, but I don't see it. But one of the things I thought was interesting, let's look right here. Remember, I've talked about this line that was established back in 2008, right before the Fed started talking about quantitative easing. I was looking at this line just recently, just to understand, okay, what's really pushing it, right? What we got below it finally. What made it go below that line? What was happening that day? Well, this was the day that the Fed raised the rates by 0.75%, 0.75%. You remember that day? Everything freaked out on that day, because what does that say? It says inflation is a lot worse than we thought it was, that the Fed is willing to make a 0.75% jump in interest rates. Now, what the pushing up of rates, the Fed doing that, is slowing down people's buying, trying to make things more expensive so they will stop buying, the more money going out there for fewer goods, because this was also just after we had massive amount of supply chain issues. The supplies are lower, the money was higher because of what the Fed dumping all this capital in the market, people going after goods, pushing the prices up, trying to slow that down with this. It said that we're in a much worse position. So because of all that, we had all this just driving down, right? And then you go to this day where we had this massive jump up. I mean, huge, huge, huge jump up. What was that? Well, that was saying the October Consumer Price Index came out. And we had this massive, massive jump last November, which made it look like, we've got, with the CPI information coming out, say, hey, things just all of a sudden got better. They had this big, big, big jump in what was being reported on the CPI. That is a massive, massive move. Now we're starting to find out, oh, maybe things aren't as good as we think they are, right? So it's taken some time for that to work its way into where actually we're almost as low as we ever got, not quite there, but it's not as great as they're making it out to be, because there's been revisions and all these other things. Then what do we hear today? Yellow Cab, massive, massive trucking company has been around for 99 years, is shutting down. More problems in the economy that are happening. I want to read about that particular thing. So things that are driving the information about inflation, showing it's a lot worse than it is. Jay Powell himself even said, one thing we know about inflation, we just don't know enough about inflation, is continuing to push us into a lower spot in the mortgage-backed securities, pushing our interest rates higher and higher. Every time you hear the news say rates got better, it's very, very incremental. Guys, look at this. Little green lines reference improvement, red lines reference it declining or it getting worse, right? So if they're referencing some improvement, they might be referencing it from a couple of days before. If you're looking at a day like the 27th, we had a very, very negative day. Then you get to the 28th and the 29th. Oh, there are positive days, better than the lowest point on the 27th, but it's so incremental, you wouldn't even know there's a difference on a rate sheet. So don't get suckered in by what you're seeing in the news or by other lenders. Talk to people who watch this stuff all the time. We watch it constantly. Scotty is always there looking at this. We're not going to lead you in a direction that we're just not going to lead you in a direction stupidly, right? We're going to give you all the data we can. Make sure you are as successful as we can possibly make you with the information that we have. It's still possible to be very, very, very successful in the real estate realm. That's our hope. That's our goal. That's what we're planning to do. And we're always going to be here doing that. I'll talk to you guys on Friday.